Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another chat. Welcome back. This is Tazitis. To another Creepypasta FanFiction. Go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it. This is chapter 17. Hope you guys like it. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. Let's get into it. As the weeks went by, Crystal tried to not let what Masky said get to her, but she might not have been very successful since her parents had started to notice and had been asking her if there was something wrong or if she was having trouble at school or work. She kept telling them she was fine. A lot of schoolwork, and that she was worried about finishing. But Crystal could tell they didn't really believe her, not entirely anyway. They just kept assuring her that they were really here for her if she ever needed them or anything. She would just nod and she would thank them, but she knew there wasn't anything about her situation that they could do to really help her. Crystal tried not to think about what Masky had said, but couldn't help but feel worried about it. Her and Zach's relationship hadn't exactly started out okay. Now all this, why had this happened? Why did this happen? Why did it escalate so quickly? Yesterday she was just a normal person, a normal girl who was just going through life, not really worried about anything much. Then Zach came and threatened to kill her if she told anybody about him. Then they had to actually start enjoying each other. They had actually started enjoying each other's company, and then Zach admitted that he really likes her, and then she almost gets kidnapped or worse. And then he tells her that now they have to be in a relationship or they both get hurt. And on top of this, his own trainers even told her that if Slenderman did give his approval, there were still bosses that wouldn't let them be. Crystal knew there wasn't much she could really do, but she's still worried. Could she and Zach really be able to deal with a situation like that when the time comes? Crystal didn't really know. Zach was a proxy and still had things to do, as he was told, so it was hard for him to step in every time in a situation. And Crystal was just a plain old girl. Could she really be able to stand on her own? Could she hold her own? Crystal couldn't help but wonder and ponder. Zach tried to assure her and was trying his best to juggle his task and spending time with her, sometimes teaching her stuff, sometimes just spending time with her for a couple minutes. Crystal really liked these times where they could just be with each other. They were sadly so few, though, but when they had them, it was great. It was Wednesday when Zach surprised her. Crystal was on her laptop sitting on her bed, just reading stuff and watching a video or two. She was just relaxing when she heard a familiar tapping on the window. Crystal smiled, quickly put her laptop on the bed and jumped off to get the window open. As she looked out, she saw it was Zach. Smiling, she said, "Hey." Hey, as she opened the window to let Zach in. "Hey, back." "Hey, back," Zach said as he climbed in, but sat down just as he was halfway through. "I think it's time I took you on a date." Zach smiled at her. Crystal was stunned. "A date?" "Yeah, a date. Come on." "Yeah, a date. Come on. Let's go. I'm taking you to lunch. Get your stuff, love, and let's go." He was bouncing a little bit. Crystal knew that her parents and her family weren't home at the moment. They would be gone for a while, but she was still kind of nervous about. She'd never really been on a date before. "Are you sure about this?" "Are you sure about this?" "Sure, love. Your folks ain't gonna be home, and we'll be back before anyone else knows this. Come on. I'm taking you to Mickey D's." Crystal was still struggling. Sorry, I didn't move the camera. But she nodded and then rushed around the room to pick up her stuff in her bag and then finally her jacket. Crystal was smiling really wide now and was excited too. "I'm ready." "Well, come on now. Let's get going." He waved her over, and then Crystal realized what he meant. Crystal shook her head. "No, it's okay. I can just meet you downstairs." "Aw, come on. You'll be safe with me. I wouldn't drop you." "No, Zach. It's not. I don't think it's safe. I don't want to," Crystal told him. "Well, okay, if that's what you want to do, but hurry up, okay? But hurry up, alright? Okay?" Straightening up and jumping out the window below. Crystal could only laugh at herself as she ran out of her room and down the stairs to meet Zach. They ate a good lunch at McDonald's and had a great time just talking and eating. Zach kept his mask on and hidden so he looked almost kept his mask off and hidden so he looked almost normal. When they had done eating, they just stayed there talking about stupid things and acting like normal teenagers. When it had started to get a little bit late, Then Zach had walked her home, but then they walked slowly as they continued to talk and enjoy each other's company. They had never really gotten to really enjoy each other's company or try to get to know who the other was outside of their lives or their work. So this was a great time. Zach had to stop a couple of blocks away as to not be seen by Crystal's parents or her neighbors. As they said goodbye, Crystal thanked Zach for a great time and hoped that they could do it again sometimes. Zach promised her they would. He didn't know when they would, but they would do it again as soon as they could. And then he surprised her by kissing her on the cheek and telling her that he would see her soon. Crystal just stood there for a moment, touching her cheek and her heart in her throat, not knowing how to respond. But Zach had gone by the time she could speak again. After Crystal walked the rest of the way home, she saw her parents had returned, so opening up the front door. So decided to open up the front door and said, "Hey everybody." Her parents looked up. "Where were you?" Crystal said, Her parents looked up. "Where were you?" Crystal said, "Just out with some friends. I hope you don't mind." Her parents looked at each other and then said, "No, we don't mind. Did you have fun?" Crystal smiled happily. "Yeah, I had a great time." Her parents looked relieved. Great. We're glad you had a good time." Her parents sounded like they really meant it. "Good, we're glad you had a really good time." And that is when Crystal turned and walked right up the stairs to get ready for dinner tonight. Happy she'd finally gotten to go on a date with Zach. She even managed to completely forget about what Maskey had said. And thanks to Zach, he made her truly feel better. Okay. I wonder if I still got time for the other one. I guess we'll see. I think the other one is, I think the next chapter is a bit longer. As you can see, spoiler for the next one, who's going to appear in the next one. Yeah, this one's a little too long, but I have to do another episode on this one. But, spoiler alert, guess who we're going to meet in the next one. Anyway. I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you guys are loving the series. It's about to get really interesting and all. So I hope you guys are enjoying it.